Welcome back to Ta-Da 3D Printing. Today I will be giving my 1-year review of the Bambu H2D printer, the pros and cons, why it has quickly become my favorite Bambu 3D printer, which is interesting because I actually have an H2C. So if you stick to the end, I'll tell you why I prefer this printer and what I think Bambu should come out with next. The first pro of this printer is that it can run almost anything that I need it to. If it is multicolor, if it is enclosed, if it's large, I can run it on this printer. And I say most because I don't really like running TPU on it. I feel like that's a little bit tricky to run on this printer. And so if I need an actual TPU, not AMS TPU, I usually will run it on a different printer. So that's why I'm saying not every single thing, but the majority of what I'm printing, this one can print it. Pro 2 is that not only can it print it, it's a great choice to print that. It's faster than my X1Cs, it's faster than a lot of my other printers, and it's efficient. Because of the dual nozzle, a lot of my files I am finding are just 2 colors, and so that helps a lot with cutting down on the waste. Pro number 3 is it's easy to use. Not only is it easy to use, it's fun to use. I find myself enjoying the process of sending it from my computer to the printer. I don't have to walk across the room. I don't have issues with it getting disconnected a lot. I like the workflow, and this is true of all Bambus, but I like the workflow from the slicer to the printer. I like the way that it contains all of my files. When I have these multiple part prints, I like that I can do different build plates and have different settings for each of those build plates. I love the newer versions of being able to paint things. I think that has helped my process a lot better. And I like things, just the fun things like the camera is already integrated. It's super easy to already be on my computer, have sent the file, and then I can just pull the time lapse from my computer. Just download it directly into that, throw it into my editing app. I don't have to worry about removing something off of the printer. I don't have to worry about creating a time lapse. It does it for me. All you have to do is click a button. So it's really fun to use. And I really found that this came to light when I decided to do my 14-part series. I just ran a Make Minis with Me, make an entire room box. This is the room box. And I was trying to decide if I wanted to use multiple different printers. Did I want to jump around? Did I want to run all of them at the same time? And the more that I started looking at the size of this, I just realized I wanted to run everything on this. I ran all 14 prints on this printer when I have several other printers. I ran other things on those, but I wanted the consistency. I liked the size. I even had purchased a new cutting mat because I thought, okay, I'm gonna pull all of my parts off of this printer and I'm gonna lay them out, and I want it to be a real clean, smooth looking background. And I ended up just doing all of the assembly actually on this build plate because it's lit up so well, it's got great space, and it just was a very consistent workflow to keep it all on the same printer. So I've really just been enjoying using this one. There were some cons and things to get used to on this printer though. This was the first H series, and of course I purchased it at launch and didn't pay a lot of attention to some of the nuances. The dual nozzle was a little bit harder to get used to than I expected. I had gotten so used to just throw all your colors in the AMS and then go to your computer and make the selections, finish things up, and send it. And I realized that I kind of had to work backwards. I would have to see which one it wanted to throw on the other nozzle and slice it first and then load it. Also, because of the exterior nozzle, I didn't purchase the additional AMSs, I didn't purchase the HT, so it's a little bit of a pain to load that exterior color. Of course, you can reslice and adjust and move whatever you want around. It took me a little while to figure that out, but you can do that. Of course, it's not going to be as efficient. So it took me a little while to get used to letting the slicer tell me which colors to put where and flip that around. Con number 2, or something that I wasn't really expecting, was the size of this. Even though I knew that it was going to be a bigger build plate than the X1C, I was kind of surprised by the height. I actually don't have enough space next to my X1Cs to be able to put it right next to them. I have to put the AMS up on the shelf above, and that was a little bit of an adjustment. And it's because it's so big, it's not something I can move around. Like my X1Cs, I can move those. This one, I have to have help to move it around, which I don't love when I'm setting up videos and things like that. The third con actually has more to do with the AMS2, and it's kind of funny because I love cardboard spools. I love Overture brand. I love all their colors. That has just been my go-to brand. I can get it on Amazon for cheap. And I have had people tell me in the past, don't run cardboard in the AMS, and I understand even Bambu says that. I really didn't have a lot of trouble with it unless the filament got to like a very low and the weight of it would kick up. I really didn't have troubles with it in my X1Cs. But something about this AMS2, there's something with the speed that I cannot run cardboard spools. I was having a lot of issues in the beginning of things getting stuck when it was switching colors. And so I had to go in and 3D print little liners for all of my Overture spools. And now I don't have any issues with it doing color changes. Just having that little bit of plastic on it is enough to help. But it is kind of quirky because I didn't have that issue before. That's just been something I've had to adjust on the AMS2. And con number 4 might be a deal breaker for some. No matter the Bambu printer that you have, Bambu support is atrocious. For some reason, there is a live chat, but not for tech support. So you end up creating a ticket, emailing back and forth, and it can sometimes take a really long time to get a solution. When my main board had an error, it took several weeks, the whole process going back and forth. It fell on weekends and holidays, and they did send me a free replacement. The process to swap it out took a while, and I do have a video on that, but you might be down for a while. I don't know why they don't have a good live support. I actually had a second issue with this, that the metal piece that swaps between the nozzles was bent, and I didn't know exactly what was happening. The process on that still took over a week to email them, come back, try this, swap this, and it was something that I had a replacement part, but I didn't know that. And if it had been a quick live chat back and forth, I would have had a solution the same day. So it's really something to keep in mind. Hobbyists may not mind that as much. Hopefully you never need to use support, but if you do, prepare for it to take a little while. So I'm sure you're wondering why, if I have an H2D and an H2C, why do I prefer the H2D? And there are two main reasons, and they're kind of funny. The first reason, the H2C only has a textured build plate. They do not have this beautiful PEI smooth sheet on the H2C. And that is what I prefer using. I know that this has great grab. I know that people love using this, but on my miniatures, I don't like having that texture because a lot of times it's on the back of my furniture piece, and when you're turning it around, you see that texture. They do have a cool tack, but it is very sticky, and I have not tried that one out yet. So just because there is only the textured on the H2C, and I can go back and forth on the H2D with textured and smooth, that is the number one reason that I'm using this one. And the second reason that I like using this one, using the H2D over the H2C, is again a silly reason. The H2C takes up so much space. You cannot put both AMS on top. You have to put them on the side. You can put the HT box, but then there's not much point. And I greatly misunderstood that the H2C, in my thought process, was dual nozzle, and there was 2 layers of nozzle changes so that those 2 AMSs fed into each nozzle. So I would have 4 colors on one nozzle and 4 colors on the other nozzle. And that is not the case. So you have all 8, depending on which combination you purchase, you have all 8 on one nozzle and 1 on the other. And so I just found that the speed was not what I was expecting it to be. I thought if I had 2 nozzles, 4 and 4, it would cut down my time in half, and it doesn't. It is faster. The H2C is faster than the H2D, but because I have to slice my print first, figure out which one, where I'm putting all of my colors, and it takes up a lot of space. It's hard to get to each of those colors in my AMS. These are silly reasons, but I'm finding myself using the H2D more. I think if I can get a better build plate, if they can come out with that stinking smooth on the H2C, I don't really want to deal with trying to pull one from the other one, cut it down to size, because I really dislike when it says that it doesn't match, and I always miss that error and don't start a print. So I don't want to make a mod that's not the correct build plate from Bambu. But if they can come out with a smooth one, if the cool tack gives a similar look, I have ordered it, I'm going to try it, then maybe that's gonna help. The other part of it being just this weird footprint, if I can come up with a rack and the space to put them, I guess I'm gonna have to put both AMSs together, because it just really bothers me to have some over here and some over here. I just don't like the setup of it. And it's silly that those little things, when you have a lot of printers to get going, you just skip. If it's a little bit of disadvantage, you start the next ones, and then I run out of time and the H2C is just sitting there. One of my most expensive printers that is fast and great is sitting there. What I think Bambu should come out with next is an H series single nozzle Vortex. And they also need to come up with a way that the 2 different AMSs, so all 8 of the nozzles, can be situated easily. So whether they both need to go on top, too deep on top of the H printer, on the side that the rack already comes that way, whatever it is, to just make it a smooth transition without having some up here on top of the printer and some on the side, that it's already ready from the company like that. And the other thing is that this dual nozzle helps sometimes but doesn't help others. And it's a little bit tricky on the workflow to figure out exactly what you're doing. So if you're running all of these 8+ colors through one nozzle and then you just have one single other one, it's not helping mine enough. I would prefer to just have one nozzle and run all of my colors through that. And with the Vortex system, it's gonna help significantly on the color changes for all 8. So I think that makes more sense. I think it would be cheaper. I think you would be able to use the entire build plate, but they also need to have the AMS 8 set up easily to use. So let me know your thoughts. Feel free to tell me that I'm crazy for using my H2D more than the H2C. Tell me I'm crazy that I don't really like this dual nozzle that much. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.